And now it's time to welcome our guest, Kim Julene. Welcome, Kim. I'm so honored to have you here on the show.
Hi, Reba. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I understand you're into Feng Shui.
Yes.
I happen to love it. So tell me a little bit. That was part of a very big transformation of your life, as we read in the bio. So tell me a little bit about that, how that happened for you.
Sure. So it actually goes back to when I was in seventh grade. Actually, I lost all of my friends. And as a seventh grader, that's a pretty traumatic thing. And I ended up spending a lot of time in my bedroom as a result of that. And I started to just like try to do things to make myself feel better. So I was like cleaning out clutter, like cleaning out closets, things like that. Started rearranging my room. And I did that a couple times until I got to the point where it felt so good. Like it was kind of like Goldilocks, right? Like,
Well,
oh, it's just right. And once my room felt good and felt like it was in a good place, then that kind of gave me the energy and the courage to get back out side. And I started going. We had a tennis court across the street from our house, and they have those, boards where you could just hit against the board. And so I go over and do that every day just to kind of get outside, and eventually ended up meeting a friend there who happened to go to my same school, and she welcomed me into her circle of friends. And so it really, the energy of your space can really shift the energy of what's happening in your life. And just I started practicing it, actually kind of studying and practicing on my own for about the last 15 years, just studying books and things, and then got certified 2 years ago.
that's an amazing story. It's sort of like, well, first of all, I'm having tea, so I want to offer you some too. I just want this to be
Thank you.
corner.
I've got my water.
Okay, we're all set. Okay, great. That's an incredible story. It's almost like this this gift that you have for arranging space and this sensitivity you have to your environment really almost saved your life.
Yeah.
Really when you needed it, because I totally get how devastating it can be. Well, seventh grade to lose them all, forget it. I can't even imagine. Even just to lose one, even as an adult is very traumatic. When something goes wrong with a friendship, it's really not easy. So that is tremendous. So tell me about the last 15 years, because obviously you got past that, and this sort of Feng Shui idea, even if you didn't
Right.
call it that back then, helped you.
Yeah.
And then, in your bio, you talk about, overworked, overstressed, mother of two, overweight. What sort of tell me a little bit what sort of led up to that kind of crisis of nothing's going right, and what got you out?
Yeah. So it just seemed like, with the insurance company that I was working for, I was handling these claims, just super, super stressful. Some of the worst claims you can imagine: physical, sexual abuse, death claims, all kinds of different things. Children death claims were kind of my specialty. So awful, just awful, awful stuff. And not knowing then kind of what I know now, I'm empathic. So I kind of take on, that energy of circumstances and other people's feelings, that type of thing. So it was just very much getting to a point where I was actually having headaches like on a daily basis at work. But I feel like I discovered Feng Shui kind of in the midst of my personal development journey. And I just realized, like, looking around at the things in my home, that it changed how I felt when I moved things, when I followed the Feng Shui principles and moved some things around. And actually I had a little story about my marriage piece of it. I had done an adjustment at our home. We were missing actually a big piece of our partnership corner in our house. And this was our second house. Our first house was nice and square, and so I didn't have any issues there. But we moved to this house, or built this house, and we were missing a piece of our partnership corner. And I had done an adjustment outside, which I don't typically do now. I do them all inside. But I had done something outside, and it was like like a flower thing or something like that, a hanging flower thing. It got moved at some point. I don't even remember. And then I kind of lost track of things in the hurry and scurry of life. And
Yeah.
so I always kind of wonder, like, if I had, if I had kept that, and obviously there were other things with the relationship
So
as well.
the marriage dissolved, or?
Yeah, got divorced, yeah, 5 years ago. So,
Okay, okay.
and there were some other disparity, there's some things you can do in the bedroom to balance things, and those were way off whack.
Yeah.
Lots of different things going on there, but
Just
yeah.
so the viewers, I love Feng Shui, and I haven't studied it seriously the way you have, but I know a little bit. But just so the viewers understand, when she says the house was missing the relationship corner, the Feng Shui uses a bagua, which is, I believe, 9 areas around a central area. And depending on how you look at it, each of those areas is associated with a part of your home and also an aspect of your life.
Yeah.
So a lot of houses are asymmetrical. So you might be missing a relationship corner or a fame corner. So that's what we mean when we say we're missing a relationship corner. So that's not
Yeah.
not an ideal situation for
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that.
no, it's okay. I just, I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, wait a minute, not everybody understands, but I happen to love the Bagua, and I think it's a really useful tool. Even if you're not like super into Feng Shui, it helps you just think about those different areas of your life and
Yeah.
think about how to sustain them. So tell me more. What can I help you with today? Because I'm here for you. We have a little bit of time together, not a lot. So I want to be of service to you if I can.
So what I'm kind of struggling with is I've been for a little while, been thinking about and wanting to do an online course. So I've done Jumpstart Feng Shui as my course, and I've taught it locally a number of different times, and people have gotten great results. And they just really like it because it's a deep dive into Feng Shui, and it really helps walk them through the process. And so I want to create this online, but I've just been having, I just haven't done, I've just not been doing it. And so I always feel like there's a message in that, typically when I'm not working on something, either it's not the right time but I have been starting to feel more recently like it's time to, like I'm getting that sort of inner push about it.
Right. So that I think it's very interesting, that you listen to that, you're not just pushed through, you're like, maybe I should listen. And now you're feeling more clear about it's time to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the obstacles and how can I help you?
So the obstacles for me, sometimes it just feels like it's a overwhelming big project to do because I have a lot of content. I also need to shoot videos, or I want to shoot videos. That's part of what I want to do is shoot short videos for each like section of the course, and then getting the handouts compiled and getting all of this loaded onto Kajabi is the other thing that I'm, it's like, it feels like there's so many moving pieces to it. And I have done sort of that, where you kind of figure out the project type of thing. But again, I just, it's like, I'm trying to figure out where to start with it. Like, do I get everything figured out ahead of time and then start loading on, or do I just start loading and revise from there?
Right, right. You have a program that you're working with for the course?
Yes. It's called Kajabi. It's an online platform. Many different people use it for courses, like Brenda Burchard, Shailene Johnson. They put all their courses on it.
It's a teaching platform, course platform.
Yeah.
They have, they have the steps for you what to do. But so what must be puzzling you is maybe the organizational part of it, so that you kind of have so much that it's like, how do I break it down?
Yeah.
And you don't want to start putting it in because then you might be reversing it.
Right.
Well, that's an interesting, I would just do it depends where you're comfortable. If you're comfortable on paper, I would do it on paper so that, I also design courses and I also have like tons of material. So what I usually end up doing is overwriting, and then I need to make it shorter.
Yes.
And first I have to dump everything I want to say. And then I think, well, I'm going to take some of that and use that for the discussion group.
Oh, right. Nice. So that's a great idea. Yeah.
So that people, when they come to you, they don't get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Because people do get overwhelmed pretty quickly, especially if they don't know you. Now, if they know, love, and trust you already, they'll be like, go through the lecture, stick it out because it'll be worth it in the end. But if they don't know you, if it's not immediately, I hate to say it, but gratifying.
Yeah.
If it doesn't immediately grab them and, looks doable and engaging. So each lesson can't be too big, I don't think.
Right. That's why I was thinking like very short clip videos, and then they'll have a handout to support them, that will explain kind of the concept that we're working with and what steps they can take.
That's great right there, because some people want to see the video. Some people want a piece of paper in their hands.
Yeah.
And what will you do every week? Will you give an assignment every week or an exercise or?
Yes. They'll have like homework to do each week.
Okay, so there's a structure that each lesson is going to be, you've got this, you've got that, and you've got that, right? So they have the exercises. Now, you strike me as a pretty organized person. So
I know I am. I am very organized. If I have anything that I'm not as organized in, it might be the paper, just because there's so much of it. But I do have all the stuff for this course all organized in one binder type of thing.
How many lessons is it?
Well, ideally I would like it to be 9. Is kind of, because that's a great Feng Shui number. 9 is about reaching new heights. And that's our sort of lucky Feng Shui number. So that's my intention, is to have it be a 9-week course. And I may end up putting in like a bonus week or 2 in there. We'll see. But
why don't you think in terms of 2 courses and have 2 9-week courses and have one almost be like
To watch the rest of this episode, click on the link below the video now if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, click on the Watch the Full Episode button when the video is done.